Hello everyone, I am back again to do a second reaction video. And with this reaction video being 8 most frequently haunted, 8 most frighteningly haunted places in Japan. This is by Slap Time, and as you can tell, I really need to I don't know where I learned to read, but it was a really terrible place for me to learn how to read. Yeah, I went to the Dum Dum School. That is one place you do not want to go to school at because you will become dumb. You will become dumb as me. Anyway, yeah, this is the 8 most frighteningly haunted places in Japan I'm reacting to. That's by Snap Time. And I may cut out the last 1 or 2 parts of this video, so the link to this video on Snaptime's channel will be in the description box down below. So you can go and watch the video in its entirety, which no doubt you lot would do because, for obvious reasons, you don't want to see my ugly mug or hear my whiny voice. Let's get on to the video then. I really need to learn how to do countdown videos.
From the spirit of a World War II soldier visiting a military base to the tormented screams of a murdered young girl, join us as we take a look at Japan's most haunted places. This site, known only as Triple S Curve, is found on the Japanese island of Okinawa.
Triple S
Curve. There is very little
Curve.
information about this haunted area other than it's meant to be a hotbed of psychic energy. One Japanese forum claims that several soldiers lost their lives here. Visitors to the site have reported feelings of intense nausea, dizziness, vomiting, and even hallucinations. One man said he felt a ghostly hand rest on his shoulder when walking through the woods. At the old military base known as Sagami Depot in Kanagawa Prefecture, there is a seldom used field hospital that is said to be rife with paranormal.
Well, I can also say that Triple S Curve seems a bit like an odd place, and I can imagine why people think that's creepy. And this place with all these and this place right here, that's got all these oxygen tanks, maybe. This place looks like it. This really does look like the sort of place where you would probably expect to see anything paranormal going down because it literally looks like some, like, it literally does kind of look like someone who went to war in this place, and this place really does look like it could be a hot spot for anything paranormal to happen.
Activity. The military police send new recruits to the field hospital just to test them out. Patrols often report windows ajar, doors that have been locked left wide open even though they'd just been checked the night before. There's often disembodied whispers heard in the abandoned rooms. Shadow figures have been sighted roaming the grounds despite the field hospital having not been used in years.
Okay, so apparently, if you're someone who don't like shadow people, don't go to this place because apparently this place is a home to some shadow people. And they might probably turn you into one of them, so you become a shadow person. Yeah, not really the sort of place I would want to go to. Nope.
These reports have come from both Japanese and American soldiers.
Number 6.
Formerly the Numahagashi Elementary School in Bihai City, this round schoolhouse is said to be a hotbed for paranormal activity. Built in 1906 as a loan.
So how many people died?
As an elementary school through the 40s, 50s and 60s.
How many people died?
In the early 70s. There are reports of children going missing in the later years of the school. Locals warn people not to visit the abandoned schoolyard as...
Okay, so that could be a good thing, a good way to make kids or get haunted spirits there. If you're going to kids that randomly disappeared, For all we know, those kids might have sadly lost their lives near the school, and their spirits could be haunting the actual school in question. You never know. That could be a possibility.
They often hear terrible noises coming from the nearby forest. Now they say anyone who enters the crumbling ruin disappears or returns insane.
Well, I'm already insane enough. Well, I'm already crazy enough as it is. I don't want to. I don't want to go to any place that will make me any more crazy than I already am. And trust me, if you know what I'm, and trust me, if you ever hung up, if you were to spend a day or two with me, you know how crazy I be.
Camp Hansen is a United States Marine Corps base located in Okinawa, Japan. Inside the compound at the infamous Gate 3.
Oh, did you know that Okinawa is one of the places where Kung Fu... Well, it's one of the places where people learn Kung Fu in Japan. Strange enough, I actually looked up... believe it or not, but I actually have gone to a library at this one college I went to back in the early 2000s, and I was actually reading a book about Kung Fu. That's how I know.
Many soldiers have reported strange activity. It is said that every weekend a soldier dressed in World War II fatigues approaches the gate. He is covered in blood with a cigarette hanging from his mouth. He asks the on-duty guard for a light and vanishes from sight. There are reports of this gate being closed altogether just because of this haunting. Some Japanese guards even refuse to be posted there.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Random ghost person appears to you, asks you for a light, and then randomly disappears. Yeah. If that ever happens to you, then get the fuck out. Yeah, I don't care if sort of, I don't care if nobody sees my film, but you get the fuck out of there. If you got a person who mysteriously appeared to you, asking you for a light, and they mysteriously disappear into thin air, that is a good time for you to get the fuck out of Dodge. You should get the fuck out of there while you got the chance to. I don't care how brave you are. It's okay to be a chicken and run away.
The well in Himeji Castle in Japan's Hyogo Prefecture
Okiku's
is said to be
well.
haunted by a young girl who shrieks at night time. The legend tells of a young girl named Okiku who served the samurai Aoyama-san. On many occasions, Okiku refused to become the samurai's lover. After many advances, Aoyama decided to trick the girl by hiding one of the family's 10 precious delft plates. The samurai blackmailed the poor girl, saying that he'd be willing to overlook the missing plate if they became lovers. Okiko refused once more. Enraged, the samurai threw Okiku into the well, killing her immediately. It is said...
Oh, you douchebag. You douchebag. If a girl doesn't want to... If a girl's not interested in being your lover, you don't... Then fair enough. She don't want to be your lover. Just leave the poor girl alone. See, if she's not interested, then it shouldn't matter. There's plenty of fish in the sea. But then again, I'm probably the one person to get Dane advice from, because I never had a girlfriend or a boyfriend, I'm probably not the best person to give advice to. Nor should you take my advice, because I'm not the best person to take advice from.
That Okiku's spirit became an onryo, a vengeful ghost that haunts the scene of her death. On clear nights, her spirit rises from the well, counts to 9, then lets out a chilling scream before descending back into the dark waters below. The Dorioda ruins in Adakayama Park in Hachioji, Tokyo were once a place of worship, but now they're known for something more sinister. In 1963, an 83-year-old woman was found brutally murdered on the side of the old temple.
Ooh.
She was killed by a robber who looted the temple and left the old lady's body in the forest. Then, just 10 years later, a young student from St. Paul's University was found dead amongst the abandoned ruins. It was reported that the girl was having an affair with the university lecturer Oba Hiroshi. When the affair became publicly known, the professor, who was married with 2 children, felt his only way out was to murder the young girl and hide her body in the rural temple. The body was not
Douchebag.
discovered for several weeks. Locals told the police that they heard a young girl's voice coming from the forest that said, "I'm here, I'm here." In 1983, the old temple was dismantled. Many visitors claim they feel a sudden sadness come over them when they visit the site. Others say the voice of the young girl can still be heard crying out in the night, begging to be found. Located in the
Yeah, let's see what number 2 is.
Ibukuro area of Tokyo, Sunshine 60 is reported to be the world's first haunted skyscraper. Employees and construction workers alike tell stories of disembodied screams, chains rattling, and faces disappearing into the shadows. Built in 1978, this shopping centre and business hub once had the crown of the tallest building in Asia. However, despite its record-setting achievement and cheery name, it had a hard time relinquishing its sinister past. This enormous building was built on the former grounds of the infamous Sugamo prison. In its prime, the jail housed up to 2,000 inmates, 7 of which were executed on site. In the public eye, the Sunshine 60 project was deemed cursed. During its construction,
I'm not surprised.
workers inexplicably lost their lives.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that any of the locals think the Sunshine Building could be very well be cursed. If it was built on a site of a prison where some people had been reported to be executed, then yeah, I can pretty much see how that might cause people to believe that the ground it's built on could very well be cursed. Because sometimes it's like the final words of the because like you never know the final words of any of those of any one of those 7 prisoners could have been something along the lines of, "Any building built upon this land shall be cursed by me," or something like that. If that makes any sense to anybody.
Some dying of faulty equipment, others falling from great heights, even though all safety precautions were in place. The workers often complained of strange noises, whispers or crying, chains rattling along the cement floors. Paranormal activity continued once the Sunshine 60's doors opened to the public, making it one of Japan's most haunted places. Customers have reported seeing faces in change rooms.
I've never really heard of a haunted skyscraper before, so this is actually a first time for me.
Many say they've seen a young girl jump off the roof of the building. Shocked and frightened, customers rush to the windows expecting to see the young girl hit the pavement below, but there's nothing there. Another regular apparition is the old lady that haunts the offices of the building. She's said to be gaunt and haggard with no eyeballs. She crawls about the cubicles of the offices whispering, "Where is it?" But when confronted...
Is she the grandmother of Artist Jack? Or is she a cousin? Or is she a cousin of Artist Jack who lives in Japan? I'm sorry, it says I heard the moment he said that the ghost of an elderly lady having no eyes, that immediately got me thinking Artist Jack.
It just disappears into nothing.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, with the haunted skyscraper, as I mentioned, I'm not surprised some of the locals would think that it'd be haunted because obviously if if it's haunted, like people, because if the ground that the skyscraper was built on happens to be the same ground that a prison once stood on, that hold up to 2,000 prisoners, and up to 7 of those prisoners were executed on site, then yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that any of the locals would think the Sunshine skyscraper building place would be haunted. Because, like I said, the one of those 7 inmates that were executed could have done something like, could have literally cursed the land by saying 7 on the lines of that my spirit shall haunt whatever any and all buildings are built upon this land that the prison is on, or something like that. And yeah, anyway, if you want to find out what the last one on this list is, the link to this original video on Slaptown's channel will be in the description box down below. And until next time, goodbye for now. Some of the stuff is creepy.